Hey guys, today we're going to create an animation like this. All the assets are linked in the description. Let's get started. So first, let's make a new composition. The dimensions would be 1080 by 1920 and frame rate would be 30. So let's make a new camera. You can see the setting right here. Let's add 2 null. And first, we're going to make this scene. And then we're going to transition into this scene. So let's drag the assets. First we're going to use Bitcoin PNG. Let's crop it because we're going to make it 3D, so we don't want this shadow. Yeah, I think this looks good. I'm going to pre-compose it, and I'm going to use a script called 3D extruder. This script helps you to convert any PNG into a 3D object. So as you can see, our Bitcoin PNG is now 3D, and now we can animate it. Okay, so first of all, let's make a new grid. And now we're going to mask it like this. Now I'm going to increase the mask feather and decrease mask expansion like this. I'm going to decrease the opacity too, like this. Now it looks good. So first of all, we're going to add XYZ rotation keyframes like this, and I'm going to add position keyframe. Also one thing, this animation is going to be like 2 seconds, so I'm going to change the duration to 2 seconds like this. First of all, we're going to animate the XYZ rotation. Our Bitcoin is going to be like this, and we're going to drag this like here, and in the initial position, our Bitcoin, I'm going to make it a little big with position, and I'm going to change it. So it's gonna look like this. Okay, now we're going to duplicate our Bitcoin and we're going to delete these keyframes, make it big, and we're going to place it right here at the bottom right side of the scene. We're going to rotate it like this, and then we're going to add Z rotation keyframe, rotate it a little bit like this. Or what you can do is, don't use the null object, just rotate the Bitcoin PNG composition itself. Okay, now let's add curves to it, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit like this and make a S curve. Let's add fast lens blur. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, now we're going to make the grid 3D. We're going to add keyframes like this, and we're going to zoom out. I don't think this is moving, so let's bring the grid a little further back like this and make it a little big with scale. I think, yeah, this looks good. We're going to add graph to these keyframes. So the graph I'm going to use is this. Script I'm using is flow script, or you can call it extension. I will leave the download link in the description for all these assets and the scripts I'm using. This is rotating a little bit too fast, so we're going to make it a little bit slow. Let's adjust the XY position of this Bitcoin right here because it isn't looking that good. Also, we're going to change the graph to like this, something like this, to make it a little bit smooth. Actually, I did a mistake right here. I'm actually zooming in with the camera, but in the actual video I actually zoomed out like this. So we're going to change that. We're going to zoom in like this, and then we're going to zoom out like this. So we're also going to change the animation of Bitcoin, this one. We're also going to change the position of this Bitcoin right here a little bit to right, like this. Yeah, I think this looks good. Now we're going to add lines that comes like this. So we're going to use shape here for that. I think, yeah, this looks good. We're going to change the color to white like this. We're going to use trim path to draw the line. So I'm going to solo this line right here and press W and then click add, and then I'm going to choose this trim path, add a keyframe to end and do like this. And I'm going to apply the same graph here like this. And now I'm going to make it 3D. I'm going to use the position value to make it smaller, like in the scene, like this. And I'm going to drag this layer below the Bitcoin layer like this, and I'm going to increase the scale. Yeah, so it looks like this. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to mirror it, like change its rotation. I'm going to invert it, like right click here, go to transform and click flip horizontal, and it's going to flip. Okay, now I'm going to take this layer, and I don't want this to like come at the same time but a little later. Okay, so I'm going to drag this layer like this, and now it looks like this. And I'm going to duplicate it again because I want this right here, like this line, and I'm just going to take this and place it here. Now the animation like this. So now we're going to add text. I'm going to write crypto, and I'm going to use a font called Playfair Medium Metallica, this one. I'm going to use this font right here. I'm going to change its color to a little bit yellowish, not full yellowish, but a little golden type, like this. And I'm going to add a little deep glow like this, and I'm going to adjust the color again. Yeah, I think this looks good. Now I'm going to make it 3D like this. Take this layer, drag it below the Bitcoin layer, and I'm going to make it a little bit small with position and increase the scale. I think this looks good. Now I'm going to add opacity keyframe to crypto text, and I'm going to animate like this, so it comes like this. Okay, so now I'm going to add another text, this text right here. I'm going to change its font to Helvetica New Bold, or we can actually use medium font. It's up to you. Okay, I'm going to decrease the spacing between these letters like this, and I'm going to use paragraph to make it like this. I'm going to make opened small. I think I will use different font for the word, maybe bold. Yeah, nothing to change. Yeah, I think this looks good, nothing to change. Now I'm going to make it 3D like this, and I'm going to make it small with position, and I'm going to make it small with scale like this. I'm going to use typewriter effect, but I'm going to tweak that a little bit. This comes with After Effects itself. So now it's actually typing the letters, but we don't want that. I'm going to change its setting a little bit. I'm going to click animated arrow and I'm going to change its based on to words. Now it comes like this instead of letters. I think this looks good. Now this first scene looks like this, but we're going to improve it a lot, so just stick with the video. I think we can make this Bitcoin a little bit small and this one a little bit bigger, so we're going to change that. I think this looks good. I'm also going to change the XY rotation of this Bitcoin a little bit. Now we're going to transition into that white scene, this scene right here. Okay, this is really easy to make. First, what we're going to do is we're going to use the second null and overlap these keyframes. I'm going to use a position keyframe like this, and we're going to change its position to something like this. Okay, now I'm going to use this graph right here and apply it. It looks like this now. I think we can increase the duration a little bit, like so we have a little bit more space right here. Now I'm going to trim these layers, all these layers. I'm going to add a solid, a little bit of white. I'm going to drag this layer here, and now I'm going to add another camera. You can check the settings. I'm going to add one null layer, null object to this. If you don't know how to link null object, you can just make a new null object. Like click here and click new, go to null object and just link with this. Just link the camera with this null. Simple as that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use this money stack. I'm going to import this in After Effects. Now what I'm going to do is make a little bit big. At the start of animation, we're going to keep the rotation like this. First, let's make it 3D. Now what we're going to do is we're going to first make the scene and then we're going to animate the camera. So first, let's make the text. Now what I'm going to do is add another text. I'm going to write transaction and I'm going to use a font called Bosca. This font. Bosca bold italic. I'm going to also make it 3D and I'm going to make it big with position keyframe like this. A little bit more big, and then I'm going to make it small with scale like this. Yeah, I think this is good. And now I'm going to align these elements in the center like this. Yeah, I think this looks good. I'm going to add this text right here just because it looks cool. I'm going to make a new text and just paste it like this. I'm going to use a font called Space Grow Text, this one, or yeah, I think this looks good. Yeah, this looks good, I think. And now I'm going to make it 3D and I'm going to change its position like this and make it small and place it right here. Okay, and we're going to add typewriter effect again here. Click characters and words, and then we're going to increase the opacity a little bit like this. Like I'm going to change it to 9 and it looks like this, like it's overwriting the text. Okay, now I'm going to use shape layer to make this line right here. I think this looks good. Now I'm going to change its stroke color to yellow, green, and increase the stroke a little bit like this. Now what we're going to do is change its blending mode to difference, and I'm going to make it 3D. I think this is a little bit too thick. We're going to make it a little bit thin like this. And now what we're going to do is make it 3D like this, and I'm going to place it below the text borderless, and I'm going to change its position again and make it a little small like this with position, and I'm going to make it big with scale. And now what I'm going to do is make the borderless white and change its blending mode to difference like this. So it looks like this. This looks a little bit too thick, so I'm going to make it less thick like this, and I'm going to use trim path to draw this line. Click the stopwatch on end and take it here. Now make it 0 at initial, and now it looks like this. Apply the same graph to this, and now it looks like this. I think it's a little bit too thick. Again, we're going to make it a little thin like this. Now it looks good. Now what we're going to do is animate the camera. First I'm going to enable motion blur on all these layers like this, and now I'm going to animate the camera. I'm going to add a position keyframe like this, and I'm going to take it here, and now I'm going to change the position like this, and now apply the same graph, or a little bit or a little bit intense like this. I think this looks good. I'm going to change the position a little bit like this, and now I think we can do this. Yeah, let's play the animation. This transaction text is going out of the screen, so I'm going to take it here. Or what we can do is change the position like this of camera. Now it looks good. Okay, now I'm going to apply some overlays. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to apply some overlays. First overlay is this. This overlay is white, so I'm going to change its blending mode to difference. So now it's visible, and I'm going to make it a little big like this. Now I'm going to add another overlay, which is this overlay right here. Now what I'm going to do is apply linear color key here and choose black color. Now add invert effect and click on RGB and choose alpha. Now it looks like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to add fill effect, and I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to change the blending mode to difference like this. So we're not going to make these overlays 3D. I just want it like at one place, and I'm going to add another overlay, which is this one. What I'm going to do is make it white. I'm going to make it invert, so apply the invert effect like this, and now make it difference, like apply the difference blending mode, make it small, take it a little bit here and align it in the center. I think it's already in the center. So yeah, this looks like this. We're going to use this step PNG which we used here. Okay, I'm going to add it in the scene. I'm going to make it 3D. Now I'm going to rotate a little bit like this, and now I'm going to decrease opacity a little bit. Take this and place it below the other layers but above the borderless text. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit small with position, and then I'm going to make it small with scale like this. And I'm going to duplicate this layer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this duplicated layer and place it above the other layers and make its position a little bit big. I think this looks good, and now it looks like this. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, so now I think that's it. I'm going to add some adjustment layers. First adjustment layer would be noise effect. I'm going to untick this use color noise, and I'm going to use 15% at amount of noise. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate this layer, and what I'm going to do is apply a deep glow like this. I'm going to change its exposure to 37 something, and I'm going to change the radius something like 350. I think 350 looks good. I'm going to decrease the opacity a little bit to 70, and now what I'm going to do is add chromatic aberration. I'm going to change its distortion to something like 15, and now what I'm going to do is add another adjustment layer. I'm going to add Gaussian blur here, and what I'm going to do is change its blurriness to 15, and I'm going to mask it with ellipse tool like this. And what I'm going to do is just invert it like this and just expand this mask arrow and increase the feather like this. I think this looks good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some overlays. I'm going to add this overlay right here, this overlay, and you can just search lens dirt on Google. You can find a lot of overlays like this. Now what I'm going to do is change its rotation to 90 and place it below everything. Now I'm going to increase its scale like this, and I'm going to change its opacity to 30%, or you can adjust it like 25. I think 25 looks good. I'm going to change crypto text position to a little bit to left like this. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to decrease the opacity of this overlay again to 20. Now our animation is almost ready, and now what I'm going to do is add another adjustment layer. We're going to add CC vignette to this adjustment, and I'm going to decrease this a little bit like this, a little bit more. And at this scene the noise is a little bit very intense. What I'm going to do is go to this frame right here where the scene transitions, split this layer, noise layer, and I'm going to decrease this noise a little bit, like 10 or 7. Now what I'm going to do is just remove this overlay from this scene because we don't want here like this. And I'm also going to remove CC vignette from this scene, and I'm going to add CC vignette on this solid that we made before like this, and I'm going to change its amount and make it a little bit less. I think this looks good. We forgot one thing. We're going to change its rotation. I'm going to add a keyframe. I'm going to take this keyframe here, and now I'm going to change its rotation to something like this. I think this looks good. Now it should look better because now it rotates. Okay, now this looks good. I think we have only one thing left, which is we're going to do this thing. Like, we're going to add minimax effect here to give a little bit of transition effect. I'm going to use adjustment layer, and I'm going to add minimax effect here, and now I'm going to change its radius to something like this, and I'm going to change its operation to, now first of all let's change the direction. I'm going to select just horizontal like this, and I'm going to change the operation to minimum then maximum. I think this is better here, and now I'm going to duplicate it, place it just when the transition happens like this. So there are two minimax layers like this. I'm also going to add an adjustment layer. I'm going to add as flicker. I'm going to change its amplitude to 0. Take this keyframe and place it here, and I'm going to change its amplitude again at initial to 0.6 something to give a little flicker effect like this. I'm going to change the graph a little bit like this and apply the graph. Now it looks like this. I'm going to decrease this opacity to 90 something. Yeah. Also, what we're going to do is add optical flare. Now this looks much better. I'm going to show you the optical flare I used. I will try to give the preset to you guys, but whenever I try to like save it, I don't know, like for example, it always gives this error right here. I don't know why it happens. If you guys know why this happens and you know the solution, let me know in the comments. And anyways, I'm going to add another effect called posterize time to make it a little bit jittery type. To make it, I'm going to change its frame rate to 17. Yeah, I think that's it. What I'm also going to do is, I think this is a little bit too white, so I'm going to split the deep glow layer and change its opacity to something like 40%, so it's not that whitey type, you know. Yeah, this looks much better. So now I'm going to play the animation and show it to you guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because this was the first part and there's more to come.